We carry devices that offer instant access to almost everyone on Earth. Yet, while digital connections have multiplied, the number of people reporting deep isolation has risen alongside them. These statistics illustrate the scale of the issue. In the UK, 60% of people between 18 and 34 say they often feel lonely. In the US, that figure reaches 46% of the entire population. Loneliness is dismissed as a side effect of being socially awkward or having a difficult personality. But population-based studies show that for adults, social skills have almost no impact on whether someone feels connected or isolated. Loneliness isn't a personality trait. It is a subjective, individual experience. If you feel lonely, your body is telling you that you are. Loneliness operates as an innate bodily function. Just as physical hunger forces you to pay attention to a lack of calories, loneliness forces you to pay attention to a social deficit. When that deficit becomes chronic, the physiological toll is measurable. Sustained loneliness weakens immune systems, advances Alzheimer's faster, and accelerates physical aging. This comparison shows the physical lethality of isolation. Chronic loneliness is twice as deadly as obesity and statistically carries the same risk as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. This raises a difficult question. How did an ancient biological alarm system designed to protect our lives become a major threat to them? 50,000 years ago, human survival was a team effort. Most people spent their entire lives within a tightly knit tribe of 50 to 150 people. In that environment, being cast out was a death sentence. Without the group, finding food, staying warm, or protecting offspring was nearly impossible. To prevent exile, our bodies developed social pain. It acted as an early warning system, making rejection feel physically painful so that our ancestors would stop behaviors that might isolate them. Those who felt rejection most acutely were more likely to correct their behavior and stay within the safety of the tribe. This adaptation kept us alive for thousands of years. Our biology hasn't changed since those tribal days, but the world we live in has been transformed. Communities dissolved during the Industrial Revolution. As people left villages for factories, the social nets that protected them began to tear. Today, that trend has only sped up. We move vast distances for education or career goals, often leaving our social foundations behind in the pursuit of new opportunities. As adults, we often prioritize work, parenting, or digital entertainment over social maintenance. We sacrifice time with friends because it feels like the easiest thing to cut when life gets busy. Most people don't set out to be alone. They simply stumble into chronic loneliness as a byproduct of a modern, fast-paced life. When isolation lasts too long, the brain interprets the lack of a tribe as an immediate threat. It shifts into a hyper-vigilant self-preservation mode. In this state, the brain becomes more alert to social signals, but it simultaneously loses the ability to interpret them accurately. This diagram illustrates the resulting neurological misfire. The brain's facial recognition center gets out of tune, frequently categorizing neutral expressions as hostile or threatening. To protect itself from this perceived hostility, the lonely brain begins assuming the worst about everyone else's intentions. This leads to defensive behaviors. You might sit further away, stop answering the phone, or decline invitations until they eventually stop coming. Avoiding these interactions increases the feeling of isolation, which only heightens the brain's defensive responses. An ancient survival mechanism, meant to keep us in the tribe, now traps the individual in a self-fulfilling loop of rejection and loneliness. If this cycle continues, it can lead to deep clinical depression, a state that prevents human connection, even when someone yearns for it. Breaking the loop starts with acceptance. Loneliness is a universal human experience, a biological signal as natural as hunger, and nothing to be ashamed of. This flowchart maps a cognitive audit. During a social interaction, you can separate what actually happened from the hostility your brain projects. By giving others the benefit of the doubt, you interrupt the hostility path, overriding your brain's self-preservation mode. Because loneliness follows a mechanical loop in the brain, it can be dismantled. Through self-examination and small changes in behavior, the cycle of isolation can be broken. This pan across the Saturn V rocket represents a peak in our technological reach. Yet, for all our progress, our biological needs remain unchanged from 50,000 years ago. No modern device or artificial environment can substitute for the human connection our bodies were built to require. If you feel unable to solve this alone, seeking professional help is a sign of courage. It is an active step towards health, not a sign of weakness. We have built an amazing artificial world, but its future depends on whether we remember to build it around our non-negotiable biological need for one another.